want to get into that morphologist thing first, or we want to get into the peaceful ones post? They are kind of one and the same.
Dealer's choice.
I didn't want to get into either of those first, but I mean, you know, I'm gonna wade right in.
I felt like, you know, maybe just get it out of the way. We can get into the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be, you know, a unanimous across the board type thing, but they're kind of one and the same, really. Both of them, I feel like they're a reflection of a large portion of the community. I feel like they, I feel like they're, you know, that they think that they want something that they don't actually want is kind of my big point. Because, you know, they're just, you know, they're not used to a certain aspect of the game, and then, you know, especially, you know, morphologists, he, like, you know, just kind of really started doing that sort of thing, and then all of a sudden, you know, as soon as he has a frustrating moment, wants the game changed for him, and instead of, you know, not realizing that, like, you're going to change the game into something that you don't want to play, and there's going to be no reason to play it. You're gonna
Do you really think that's the case for them, though? Like, do you really think that they would not be happy with the game being that way?
I think that they'll be happy with it for a while, but it'll be too easy, and then they'll get bored, and they'll go play something else. And
right?
Everyone will just go and play something else. There'll be a different game. This is supposed to be something that's challenging. If it's not challenging, then there.
Oh, did you take off?
There's no point.
No, not at all.
No, it was just a test flight to make sure everything was working.
Yeah, all right. Anger 12, yeah?
Yeah, Anger 12, yeah.
Shit like this.
On my way.
So, I mean, my thought was, because the comment that he made, I don't know, at least the one that stuck out, was that the people that fly the A2, or fly the A2 solo, or drop bombs on JT are dumb. And I don't know if any of you guys played JT before, but it was like a madhouse.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You mean the original JT?
The original one, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
3.3, I think it was.
Oh yes.
I didn't.
JT
No,
was
I didn't get to. I didn't get to play that one.
Yeah, it was.
A scary place.
It was the Wild West.
Scary.
Like that was what when I was saying, like, I spent, like, that was when I started playing the game regularly, and I spent 6 months getting blasted. Like,
yeah,
I just wasn't winning any engagements, nothing. I was just getting roasted.
Yeah, and the thing is that, like, I feel like a lot of people from that time don't play anymore.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I could go along with that, because I will tell you that of all the people that I met that were pretty awesome, I don't see any of them online. Ever. Like, ever. I don't remember the last time I saw them. I don't remember the last time I saw them, like, up on the Discord. Like, I just don't see them anymore.
A lot of, like, my compatriots from EVE Online, we were all very excited for Star Citizen, because we had, you know, what's the Elite Dangerous had been out for a while, and it was very tame. And aside from a little bit of PvP, especially in the early stages, the combat was very lacking in that game. And then the PvP was okay. It was all right, but it just wasn't, you know, it wasn't up to the standard that we were really hoping for or looking for at the time. And so Star Citizen was, you know, making a lot of promises, and we were very, very interested in it. But looking back 10 years now, you know what I mean? It's none of those people play anymore. I don't, that they moved on. Really, like I think that a lot of them were like that. I don't think that they, I think that they are waiting for it to be,
Okay,
something.
I think we need to reboot.
I think that it will be something that, like, I think that they're just waiting. I think that a lot of them are just waiting for the game to get to a place where they large, or groups of people can fight other groups of people. And I think that they were actively paying attention back at the original Jumptown, and they had fun, but then it was over, and they didn't see Jumptown again until what, like 3.15?
Yeah,
Something
it
like
was
that.
a while. And
A really long time.
And the original Jumptown wasn't intended. It was like something that was like off of the game
It was a glitch.
that
Yeah.
it just turned into something awesome.
But also, the original Jumptown, you had no marker on it. You had to
Yeah.
basically
Yeah, you had
watch
to
a
know.
YouTube. Yeah, you had to know. You had to watch a YouTube video, warp to a certain place, and look at a certain spot on the moon between two mountains, and then you had to fly there, and hopefully you got it right. And then
Yeah,
if you
I
didn't,
did-
then you have to warp
I
away.
did go there once, but it was pretty late. It was pretty later, in the patch, and it was pretty quiet when I went. But there was definitely that dread of, oh my gosh, someone could just come up right behind me and take me out. And that was the fun of it. I was very excited. Like, a lot of my early stuff was basically me just getting messed up. There was that. Remember when there was like only just like a couple of missions, and one of them was to like fly into that broke down. What was it? It was almost like a broke down station, and you had to like go down there and find like a laptop or whatever. And like,
Oh yeah,
people would be
Codex.
hiding. Yeah, people would be hiding down there and shoot you. You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, it scared the crap out of me. You know what I mean? And it was fun. And so like that gave me a very lasting expectation of like what they meant for Star Citizen. And I feel like a lot of people have come in thinking that no one should be able to PvP ever for any reason, and it's
Which is crazy, because like you remember, like, so me and Shepard probably been playing this game together the longest. Do you remember when people used to be like, oh, there's a hammerheaded JT, and then like everybody in the server would like meet up
Yep.
to go down and fight? I don't
Mhm.
remember the last time I saw that. Now it's like, let's party chat and then try to go down to JT and get in line. And then if anybody comes down and they're doing combat, it's like, oh, you're a bitch. Oh, F your life and all this other stuff. And it's just like,
It's considered
when did
griefing.
that shift happen where there was camaraderie? You know what I mean? And not necessarily like different orgs being in, and that's why they were together, but people deciding to work together in the game. You don't see that anymore. You see more bitching and complaining, which I guess kind of brings us into, I don't know if the people watching have seen this post, but this is some, let's see what's coming up on the screen, some insane shit that was posted on the webs on Spectrum.
it's coming up on screen. We're good.
Like this letter from the Peaceful Ones thing, and it's gotten quite a bit of traction too. It's got like 700 and whatever upvotes and thumbs up and hearts and stuff like that. Now I know that when you go, as a matter of fact, let's just do this now so you all can see. When you go to the home page of Robert Space Industries, you'll see something like this, and that's 1, 2, 3 dedicated combat ships. The other ones, they're not dedicated combat ships, but they're well armed. If we go to the pledge store, we go to standalone ships, and we see what is it that is readily available to people who don't have an account and they want to get into the game. Combat ship that holds stuff. Size 4 gun, 2 size 3s, 4 size 2 missiles. Combat ship, combat ship, combat ship, combat ship, combat ship, combat ship. I'll keep scrolling. Combat ships, paints. Combat ships, combat trucks. More combat ships. Dedicated combat ships. More combat trucks. Paints for combat ships. So it's like, if you knew nothing about the game and you came into it and you see this, it leads you to believe that there's probably quite a bit of combat that goes on in the game. Yet when you look at posts like this, there's a fucking disconnect. Straight up. And I don't even understand how people get here. Because I think the biggest gripe I've always had is, why would you want to be in a game that everybody was in and could do what they want, and then force this narrative of, I shouldn't be bothered?
Well,
I don't even understand why you would think some shit like that. Like, cause it sounds crazy. And me personally, I feel like somebody had made a comment. It was a video I was watching earlier, and they were talking about what people have going on in their lives being a reflection of how they play. And my thing is, it's like, and I don't mean to be mean, maybe you are very passive. Maybe you get picked on. Maybe your job sucks. Maybe your boss talks to you like you're an asshole. Maybe you are an asshole. But when you get into an online game, wouldn't you want to be the person that you always thought you could be? Wouldn't you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't there be like some fantasy or something like that? But no, that's not the case. It's like you get like these bitch fests like this one, where the game is supposed to bend to your insecurities or how you feel or how you think the game should be, in a server with 100-something players. Like it's mind-boggling to me how you even get there, or when it happened, because the community wasn't always this way.
Right.
That's my little rant. But if you guys, you want to chime in.
I mean, may I chime in here?
Yeah. Sure,
So, see, I'm of the opinion that, because I hear a lot of people say things like, the game's not balanced, and, the game's not fun, blah, blah, blah. I think the problem is a large percentage of the community misunderstands or misinterprets what Star Citizen is supposed to be. Star Citizen is not just a game. It's a space life simulation, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to simulate what life would be like or would have been like had we ventured into the stars. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Correct.
we're in agreement.
Now, here's the thing. Real life can be dangerous, especially when we venture into the stars. The truth is, life on Earth alone is dangerous enough. Now, take into account that we ventured into the stars and there's like different species, different, planets, different cultures, different traditions, different belief systems, all of that, right? What in God's name would possess you to believe that would be like a bloody safe haven? Excuse my French. It's dangerous, right?
Yeah.
So, just as there's certain places that you go to in real life and wouldn't really go alone, the same applies to a life simulation. Right? You want to go mine and you want to be in peace, higher security, right?
Yeah. If you're not, it's not like, I 100% agree with you.
You want to haul sensitive, valuable cargo, right? If you're doing that in real life, you wouldn't do it without security, right?
Yeah.
Lastly, you want to go to a drug lab that is constantly producing valuable narcotic drugs, right?
Yep.
Why would you assume that is a safe thing to do?
Yeah, no, you must, because you clearly, I don't know what neighborhood you're from, but
exactly, it's
you
not
don't do
a
that
safe
in my neighborhood.
thing to do. It is not, not in any way or form, right? So why would you assume a game that is supposed to be simulating real life
Entitlement
would do that.
is the
You
only
know?
thing. It's the only word that comes to mind. Is entitlement. You feel
And
entitled
coming to
that this to be just a giant. This game is just for you. It's not for us. Not for us who been here just as long as you. We're not allowed. We're not allowed
now
our
coming
aspects
to the
of
morphologist
reality in it.
issue, right? Coming to the morphologist issue, the A2 bomber. I don't think the A2 bomber is overpowered.
It's
It does
overpowered if you suck.
exactly. It does exactly what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right? It's a bomber. It's supposed to drop nukes.
Watching that
It's
clip.
supposed to be that powerful. Number one.
Watching
Number
that
two,
clip was like
Right.
watching someone stick their finger in the barrel of a gun and being like, why didn't the bullet stop?
There you go. Now, number two on that issue. I don't know, boss. We have shot down many A2s in Jumptown.
Yeah.
All
We're
it
not that
takes
big a
is
group.
one.
No.
Bishop shot down an A2 with a Gladius.
Well, we also have been shot down in an A2.
Thank
well.
you.
Yep.
No, I mean, being, so that's from one perspective. But from the perspective of a person under threat of an A2, we have shot down many A2s in many different ways, right?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, we have.
also, it comes down to situational awareness, right?
Yep.
You're a JT, you're supposed to have scouts and eyes in the sky, right? You're supposed to have eyes in the sky, overwatching area of operations, right? Anything like I remember many times that we were at JT. We staked out the nearby orbital markers because whoever's coming is going to have to come from an orbital marker, right?
Yep.
I remember Op and I teaming up to keep watch over orbital markers. Op, am I
Well,
right?
you're also going to see it from at
Yeah.
least 50 kilometers out,
Exactly.
even if you're not
There
watching
you
it.
go. There you go. So it comes in.
What I saw
You know,
was everyone was parked on the ground. Everyone was out of their ships, and no one was providing Overwatch. It was a tactical misstep.
Exactly.
And see,
Exactly.
I
And
don't
if
even
you
in
think
all
that's
regards.
a
tactically,
misstep.
you
I
suffer
don't think they
for
were
it.
there together. I think they were there together, but they were there for themselves. That's why that shit happened. And it's the same mentality behind that guy in the mole that we blew up the other day. Now that mole was for 3 miners. There was one person in it. He had no scouts. So it's like
He should have bolted the moment.
Thing too.
Yeah, you should. Well, I mean, it's also like before I was good at combat. You know what I was really good at? I was really good at running.
Mining.
Oh man, I'd get out of there so fast. I'd line up on a thing like I knew what to do. And there was a lot of times I spent a lot of time getting blown up by people who were coming after me, and I learned how to jump around and how to warp around and stuff and not get killed. That and that's
Avoid getting
fun.
killed.
If you don't think that's fun, like I don't know, try checkers. But like this is it's a fun aspect of the game. Just because you're in a ship that just because you're in a ship that can't that isn't good at combat doesn't mean that you're defenseless. And if you want to take the teeth out of everything because you think that you're defenseless, well, you're just it's just wrong. Like okay, it has they put guns on a prospector. So what? It's not going to do anything. What you can do though is you can align yourself. Like as soon as you see a blip, you should be aligning to something. You should be off the ground, getting out of orbit immediately. Yeah, and you should be warping as soon as you can. That guy could if I was in that ship, I would have you wouldn't have killed me. There's no flipping way. I'd have been like, oh crap,
evasive tactics.
Yeah, but
And,
he thought no one should be allowed to touch me. No one's gonna do that. That's crazy. You're not allowed to do that to me. And then he had to go in the chat afterwards and tell us to fuck our life. Like, come on, buddy. Like, have some class. And that's that was a big part of what I wanted to talk about today was etiquette. What you think of you're mentally ill if you think that someone shooting you in a video game is anywhere near the real thing. It's literally as harmless. You know, it's the same as getting a spitwad spit at you or something. Like you know what I
But,
mean?
you know,
Like
here's the thing, Vexus, right? I feel like I should point this out, right? Now, having said that Star Citizen is a life simulation, right? To be fair, it is expected that people who are insecure and little in real life would actually bring it into a life simulation.
yeah,
So I
and
don't take it too seriously.
I don't
You know?
take it seriously, but like I do take it like I want some, like I just don't think that anyone ever says it, that if you're getting upset because someone playing a video game where there's weapons, there's, you know what I mean, like it's a thing. Like if you don't look over your shoulder at night at the ATM, like I can't help you. Like it's, you know what I mean, like if that happens in real life, that's a horrible thing. That's a terrible thing. I hope nothing happens to you in real life. It's not the same thing in this.
You're in a dangerous neighborhood. You're at
It's not the same thing. This is a game of tag for the most part. You know what I mean? It's a game of tag, and it's like, you know, if someone's playing tag and they tap you on the shoulder and then you curse obscenities at them, I don't think that you should play video games at all.
Yeah.
You don't have an understanding of what's happening here. You should probably get therapy. You know what I mean? Like you need a serious reality check. Yeah, Maestro will help you out. We'll get you his card.
And also, right, if you come across something that's hard to deal with, that's part of the sandbox experience. Come up with a strategy.
Yep.
I still remember Bishop's reaction the first day he shot down an A2 in the Gladius, right? By shooting the bomb. Do we all remember this? In fact, 11, you asked him if
we have it recorded.
Exactly. Thank you. The first question was, did you get footage?
Yeah.
Right?
Did you see that?
He didn't think it. He had never heard of anybody doing it. He just thought, wait, hang on a second. If I shoot the bomb when it's still close to him, will it take him along will the explosion take him along with it? And he tried it.
That discovery led to the explosions of many A2s.
Sure did.
Exactly. There you go. So it's, again, I say it's a live simulation.
Now, what happened to Morphologists is a bit different. There's no way you're going to shoot that bomb out of there. That thing.
Not without killing yourself.
Not without killing
yourself. I say one thing to that, Vexus. I say one thing to that. You win some, you lose some. Period.
You win some, you lose some, but it comes down to tactics. It comes down to someone who, like, they clearly didn't have the wherewithal to operate that situation properly.
And they didn't have any scouts.
And instead of we all get angry and upset, and surprise when something surprises us like that. It's a frustration, thing that happens to you. It happens to all of us.
And that's where being an adult comes into play. It's called self-restraint.
The problem is that, like, he said what he said, and it is what it is. The problem is that, like, my only problem, like, I'm like, yeah, whatever, like, you know what I mean? And someone, called him out on it, and it's like, yeah, what I would have done differently had I been Morphologist is I would have been like, I apologize for my actions. I said things out of anger. Just please accept my apology. And I would have moved on. I wouldn't have said consecutively that I didn't say that and it's not what I meant. Which one is it? I would have picked one. I would have said that's not what I meant. And I wouldn't have doubled down and said, no, the A2 needs to be nerfed, and just continued on and then tried to explain myself as to why I think that. Now, you can have your own opinion and whatnot, but, like, especially when the PvP community, feels the way they feel, just apologize. And you've already said what you think should happen to the A2. And we've tried to tell you why you're wrong. We all could see in the video. We could see in the video what happened, and it's pretty unanimous amongst the PvPers. Like, yeah, you just weren't. You're shooting from the back of a truck at I don't know how many tons of metal that has an electromagnetic shield on it coming in and blowing you up. You guys needed to be in your ships. How many people did you need on the ground loading boxes? 1, 2, maybe. The rest of you could have been in your ships in the sky, stopping that thing from coming in. It's a PvP part of the game. Don't get mad when someone does, when someone does the PvP portion of that mechanic.
Yeah, I think they feel that they shouldn't have to. That's
Yeah,
why they were
entitlement.
And they weren't there like together. They were there like in a group for themselves.
Yeah.
And the other thing I think is that you have content creators that clearly don't play the game often.
Yep.
I watch channels and I see it. They're like, oh wow, I didn't know that. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Yet you make content for the game. And I think this is one of those cases where let me try something outside of what I normally do, and then if it goes bad, I'll just bitch and talk about how the game's messed up or the people that do it are assholes.
Yeah,
but really, it's me. And then and that's the thing that blows my mind about the whole appeal and the whole what we call influencers, because that ultimately is what it is. So it's like, if we're watching an influencer, then that means that we are susceptible to being influenced, which is why I've stayed away from this shit. I've stayed away from it. Like I really don't want to be bothered, but what I see happening because of it is the community is turning
cultural
into,
shift.
It's like very soft. I need you to mute that. It's turned into this very soft, like just like not men, just like not like I'm used to men being, or I've been playing online games for a while, and there's just a major culture shift in who's playing the game and the shit, and it's like it just doesn't make any sense. And it's like, and if you are influenced by somebody who behaves that way, that probably is the core of the real problem. Because me personally, I feel that in watching this stuff, I think he's just exposed himself. I think now anything that I may have thought about who he was has been more solidified and is more pronounced now from the outbursts and the comments, and there's something that he believes to be true about himself that is not in alignment with reality, especially when it comes to the game. However, he's got a whole bunch of people that watch his channel that probably feel the same way, and it's just like, well, are they who's playing the game? And that's why I've always struggled with my involvement in it, because it's like the community is, from the outside looking in, not something that reflects me at all. Like I struggle with being, like, if I tell somebody, oh, I play Star Citizen, and they go look at Spectrum or they go look at some of the content, and it's kind of like,
ugh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a very poor reflection of yourself.
Very poor.
If you're, if in terms of, because people are guilty by association. It's like, I hang out with this guy and he's a bad guy. Like,
here's what I think about that.
There's no sportsmanship, and I feel like there's zero sportsmanship. Like, if you catch me and you blow me up, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be frustrated. I'm gonna be like, dang it. But I am going to say good fight in the chat afterwards. I'm not going to provide you an excuse as to why you got me. You only got me because I wasn't paying attention,
because you were good,
or I was typing, or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
You only got me because you've been putting in a bunch of effort into being good at this.
Because you're good,
you jerk.
And here's the thing that I have to say about the community on that issue. I think. Spectrum has become very, very toxic, and there are a bunch of ways.
Yeah.
The whole gaming community.
Yeah, exactly. But I still think that there's a huge portion of the Star Citizen community that's still not toxic. It's just that they're not vocal.
They're not as vocal. Yeah.
I've never been on Spectrum in my life.
Enjoy the game. They just enjoy the game, and they just play the game, right?
Yeah.
Just as we all were,
and that's
before.
a big problem. It's a big problem because, like,
good people.
Yeah, but you see, here's the thing, right?
Let up. I wanted to hear what he was going to say.
Go on.
And this goes deeper than just the game. This goes for just life and shit. The good people the people that should be vocal, the ones that should be heard out, are the ones saying nothing, because they already know where this path leads. They already know that if they start this or open this can of worms, they're going to have to continuously fight it. They're going to have to continuously rebuttal these people that just don't want to hear reason.
And
is what it
justify
boils
their
down
opinions.
to. It's just going to be a constant, because these people, no matter how much logic, how much sound voice you put into something, it doesn't matter to them, because all they want is one, and there's just no reasoning.
Yeah, and the thing is that they don't understand that they will kill this game. They won't want to play it. They'll be like, oh, it's just so easy. It's just kind of, like it just kind of ended up like Elite Dangerous or something. I don't really know. They can't put their finger on it because it's too easy.
Fair
It's so important. Its difficulty is and not just like difficulty in like, oh, the mechanics or the NPCs are difficulty. Like humans against human difficulty is it's our only reward. Like, and I'm fine with like PvE content. I have no problem with it. I like it. I want it to be more like player to player. Like mining, just a single mining ship, just collecting stuff and then taking it back to station. No, I want like a full operation of people out there. Like it goes from this ship and then it goes into this ship and then it goes to this ship and he runs it back. I want it to, exactly as it should be. Like I want multiple people on all of those ships, operating different parts of those ships. I really, really do. And I want all that stuff, but and that brings me to, we're going to do some videos in the future, but traders, you're out there by yourselves and then someone blows you up and then you're mad. You've no one to blame but yourself.
Yeah,
you should hire people. Yeah, to help you carry cargo from one spot to another. There's people that are willing to do it. I'm one of them. You could pay me more.
Yeah, they don't want to share.
And mercenaries.
They don't want to share. That's why.
Yeah.
They don't want to abide by the nature of the game, which is it's a real life simulation.
Right. And
period. And the truth is, my belief is that Star Citizen was never meant. Star Citizen is supposed to be the ultimate player-to-player interactive experience, right? And the NPCs and the environment is only there for immersion and realism.
And I won't be able to tell you a link or provide you with a link to this, but I'm quite positive that I read somewhere, watched a video somewhere, Chris Roberts.
There you go. Saying something
this
similar.
This is what he wanted.
Yeah, he encourages people to play together.
He wanted people to interact and create their own gameplay. And that's what he wanted. That's his vision of this game.
Yeah.
And
it's
simulation.
An open universe MMO. It's an open universe simulation. Your main interaction is supposed, just as in real life you interact with other humans in many different facets of life, in many different ways, it's supposed to be the exact same thing, only in a digital universe. Again, like I said, the environmental aspect of it is only there for immersion and realism. Period. So when you start to say things like, you don't want PvP, you're invariably saying you don't want Star Citizen. So I highly recommend you go play something else.
Isn't that the line? Isn't that what they say? You should play something else. That be the line. Yep. Like with everything. Like it's so crazy.
But hey, what do I know? I'm just a random crazy middle-aged man after all.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
Yeah, well,
so I don't want to like over exhaust talking about this, but
it needs to be said though.
I mean, and I hope
Boston,
those watching live. I hope those watching live, like it is what it is. For those of you that watch this on the replay, we don't usually get into this shit. It just seems like the community is just taking a turn for the worse. And we we just wanted to address it among some other things that we're going to talk about this evening. But we just
we want to preserve the idea of Star Citizens to its, that combat is a thing when we get to the thing. I've heard a lot of big time Star Citizen content creators talking about, oh well, the game would be more popular if they just got rid of PvP entirely. And I had, I have very strong feelings about that, where I'm like, who are you to say, like, what I'm allowed, like that, whether or not, something should be in a game for all, like, that takes some insane entitlement to say, you should listen to me, you should listen to me instead of, all these other millions of people that want to do this. My voice is more important than theirs. I mean, just going to put that out there. I'm just going to say that, my opinion is, is better because my ego can't handle when a game mechanic, interrupts me. And so I'm, I should just, they should just take it out of the game so that I don't ever have to feel that way again.
Well, to even take it a step further, how do you think it would feel if you worked at CIG, right? And you were part of whatever team making whatever ship or whatever game loop or working on whatever event, and the most vocal part of the community is talking shit on everything you've done over the course of the last however long it's been.
I would first off,
mean?
like,
it's like
I would be
I've
like,
seen the excitement on their faces sometimes when these guys are talking about the stuff that they're working on, and it excites me to see somebody excited about something that they're working on, regardless of what it was.
Yeah.
And then I go to Spectrum, and it's just like, what the fuck? It's almost Spectrum should be like on a different website for people that don't like the game. That's just what it seems like most of the time when I look at it. There's like nitpicking and bitching and then grandstanding and then people writing like that letter from the Peaceful Ones. That was like the pinnacle. It was the pinnacle of the most like outrageous shit that I have ever seen. It's like, what game we've been
playing? It's been an entire year of this too, where it's like literally every ship that we've, it's like someone designed it and it's supposed to be this awesome combat ship, and then we get it and we're like, oh my god. And so like the people who bought it are excited, we're happy, it's great, it's working just as intended, but the person who didn't buy it is real angry about it.
Big too.
That has been every single ship I have bought this year.
The Ares and series, Scorpio,
Redeemer, yeah.
Which the Redeemer got brought back, thankfully.
Thankfully.
What about
exactly.
What about
now the thing
that happened with the Ares. Like, really? Come on.
They nerfed everything about. Like, I got killed by one missile from a Gladius. I was like, you gotta be out of your mind.
It blew the turret off of the ship with full shields. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I was like, nah. Like, not even gonna get started on a stupid Gladius. I have a Gladius, you know what I mean? But like, still.
Careful talking about the Gladius, because that'll bring up another topic real quick.
Oh yeah.
We're not gonna talk about that.
We're not going to get into that. That'll be
just you wait, children.
That gets released, where we will be actually
about a week
in depth in regards to cheating in the game. And I know I did a video on it before, covering some stuff. And I have got a lot more information than I had last time. A lot more proof that not only is it
just
happening,
proof, actual proof.
It is very prevalent and happening in the game right now as we play it. So,
so if you
look forward to that one.
Yeah.
11, could you not jump anywhere else? Because I'm jumping to you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Leave his ass behind.
We are at Arc L2.
Arc L2.
Yep.
Jumping to your markers. in a Pisces.
Check you out. Let me get a few of the cut videos up there. That's dope.
3 of us that are here.
Oh yeah, it reminds me. I gotta vote for the Pisces when that comes
Pisces
up.
is not
I like the Pisces.
I
It
love the
reminds
Pisces.
me of I don't know if I've mentioned this. It reminds me of the Delta Flyer from Star Trek
Yes.
Voyager.
No, the Delta, I believe, is actually from before Voyager. It's from Deep Space Nine.
Oh no, there was a version of it in Deep Space Nine, but then there was an upgraded version of the Delta Flyer.
That is true.
In the Voyager.
Voyager was a really good show.
That was then further outfitted and heavily modified for the Delta Quadrant, which is why it was named after the quadrant they were stuck in, which was the Delta Quadrant.
Yep. Whew.
What else do we have on the menu? Future of Star Citizen Combat was something we had talked about. State of the game right now.
Well, state of the game right now is kind of why, 11's Hangar hasn't been putting out a ton of content. It's difficult. It's really difficult. But that's because really good things are coming into the game. And so,
exactly. You know, I keep saying that. Honestly, I don't really mind the state of the game because the shittiness of the game is actually proof that there's work being done.
There's it's not stuff that we can physically put our hands on, but it's so important.
You can't.
And there's going to be a lot of the patches from now on.
This and expect things to not go wrong. If things aren't going wrong, then you're not on the bleeding edge of tech. That's just the fact.
I, for one, fully expect 318 to be an absolute dumpster fire. If I'm wrong, I'll be pleasantly surprised. But it'll be well worth it. So,
that was why when you showed me all the stuff that's coming in 318 that I posted that GIF of all the beetles from the Mummy. Yeah, I was like, they're releasing.
That was priceless.
Yeah. But you know, their motto should be build it, break it, fix it, repeat. Mm-hmm. Every single patch. That's why we're on 317.2 and it's extended.
Yeah.
Yep. And 319 has been pushed to next year, and 4.0 has been pushed back, like 2-3 years. God, we're probably working on year 4.
Forgive me, but that's another thing that I don't get about the vocal part of this community. We're in an alpha, right? And in an alpha game that's in a state of development. Right?
It's not even like it's a testing bed, honestly.
Thank you. And honestly,
this is not a game.
Shit to go very, very wrong, and not just very wrong. We're playing with things that have never been done before.
That's 100% true. Like every time, I mean, the problem is that like we're now getting the things that are underneath the surface that we can't see. So like the stuff that we normally, it used to be, we get a new location and we get to sit there and revel in it and go, oh my God. And we would absolutely go nuts every time they release a new thing. Look at this. It's got a working train. This is crazy. Exactly. And now it's like there are monumental things happening behind the scenes in terms of like what's happening to the game. It's just we don't get the new thing to play with it, and we have to and it's not your fault if you're upset with the state of the game. It's really not. It's the marketing team has marketed it as if it's an active working game.
Oh yeah, they do.
And so that is a real, and you get like this disclaimer, when you go to buy something that goes like, remember, but that's all, you know what I mean? And so like, you're not, it's, especially if you weren't, fully aware of, the situation beforehand. I understand there's a lot of frustrated people out. There's a lot of people making a lot of money off of how frustrated those people are. And I really, really want a lot of I feel like a massive portion of this community isn't around anymore. They're not. They've stopped caring. They're pissed off. They're angry, and I understand that. I do, but I maybe I'm maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm a giant sucker, but I really want this game. I really want it to work out.
Oh, right.
And I'm willing to slog through whatever mud I have to see it happen. But I don't want to see this game go the way that I've seen so many other games that, they just get,
Oh, crap. Okay.
They just get murdered.
Yep. Go on.
Yeah, because that's what's going to happen. That's how I see it. That's what I don't want to happen.
I had never been on Spectrum.
We've been out of shape about the game,
Yeah.
To be straight, I think the last month and a half, almost 2 months, we've been playing Red Dead. I think we threw a few streams up, but it didn't really seem like the people that watch 11's Hangar were digging it too much. It seemed like the votes were split when I put them up, and I'm like, I don't want to, piss off the people watching waiting for Star Citizen content, but I don't want to piss myself off either and get to a place of burnout with the game. Like, I enjoy it, and I feel like the channel's focus has kind of been, more on the whole combat thing with maybe some asshole highlights of us blowing stuff up, but I try to put informative things in there to help people along in their journey. But I don't want to get bent out of shape. Like, I even kind of touching on some of what we were dealing with is this cheating thing that nobody seems to want to talk about. Like, the shit hasn't stopped. It's at best it's worse than it was before, but nobody's covering it. So it's like when I mentioned it, it's you're being this, you're being that. I'm like, and I'm telling, like, and and it's like, I didn't want there to be cheating in the game. I only noticed the shit because I do combat all the time. So that's how I saw it. And it's like, there's bigger channels than 11's Hangar and a lot better combat pods than I am. And literally nobody mentions the shit. They just don't mention it. Like, they just don't. So it's just like, and I had apprehension about even talking about it because people say, oh, you just need to get better at the game. You have no idea how bad the cheating in this game actually is. You will soon when I put this video out. You will know then.
Yeah,
people are bypassing easy anti-cheat. That's a thing, and it's been a thing. Like, it's coming. It's coming. Yep. That video will be a tell-all.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's been there. I remember, like, especially, the day, the uncertainty of it was really annoying because, like, you sit there and you spend day in and day out in this game and you're like, I know how this performs. I know how this works. And seeing people do things just unbelievable where you're like, get out of here. No way that happened. My favorite example was there was hands down no way. You know what I mean? Like, oh, desync. Nuh-uh. It was a fully crewed hammerhead, and a Gladius shut it off with distortions in 3 seconds.
That's not even that shouldn't even be possible.
And then I'll see people say shit like on different forums and stuff like, oh, it's not really difficult to do that, with using the Gladius. You just have to know the systems. We know the systems. We've been playing the game for a while. And you know how I know this shit's not possible? Because here you go. The game right now is bound to pools. There's no physicalized damage. There's no armor. Things are bound to pools. So there's a pool for how much damage that a shield can take. And then the shield generator itself. There's a pool for how much damage a ship can take. And depending on the ship, it's based on certain parts of the ship. But it's like, it's funny because the bullshit is supported. It's like, oh yeah, well, I know I can do this. Yeah, I know you can too, because you're fucking cheating. Like, that's how you do it. It's not like, oh, I think you're bad, or oh, I need to get better. It's like,
it's gaslighting.
We know what regular gameplay looks like, and we know what not regular gameplay looks like. And because there's no narrative or no expose or nobody talking about the cheating that's going on in the game, well, if you feel like that's happening to you, then it's probably desync or you're probably not good. And it's funny because I've been watching this for a while, I've been playing for a while. There's been ships in the game that were so broken that you didn't have to be good to beat people. And some streamers used them. And you know what happened when CIG fixed the ships? the streamers disappeared.
Mm.
So
And
here we are with this advancement in the cheating in the game, and it's just like, who'll be around when they fix it? You know, and we'll delve into this more in the video when it comes out, but it's just like, who will be around when certain things that allegedly don't exist don't work anymore? They'll become community advocates, or they'll say, "Oh, I'm make a video about why I don't play Star Citizen," or some shit like that. Like, it's coming. You watch.
See, here's the thing, 11. That's another thing that I particularly and personally wanted to touch on. Right? Where do you get off not wanting to play Star Citizen again and then telling people to stop buying ships? You don't want to buy ships? Don't buy ships. You don't want to play the game? Don't play the game. But we've all got our own personal opinions, right? It's my money. I want to spend it. I want to spend it on Star Citizen. I'll spend it on Star Citizen, right?
Yeah, like that dude that we blew up in the Redeemer that time, and his gripe with us was that we blew him up because we had friends, because we were together, and because we had the ship. That was his thing. Well, the only reason that happened is because you had money to have the ship. You know how crazy that is? But you know how crazy of a statement that is to say? It's like, no, that's not what happened. What happened was, there's a huge ship that was fully crewed with big ass guns on it, and you chose to fight it.
There you go. And
that's what happened,
at the end of
because
the
it's
day,
a game.
At the end of the day, I remember, you've done a VHRT in an Aurora before, haven't you?
Yes, and that's actually something that I wanted to touch on.
There you go.
11's hangar, there was a time where it was literally just me and 11. And we started off doing combat videos and ships that everybody talks shit about.
Yep.
And so 11's hangar had humble beginnings. And we started off doing combat videos, doing double VHRTs. You remember when there was a time when VHRTs doubled?
Yeah.
And 11 and I would go out in the most ridiculous ships just to prove everybody wrong that, yes, you can do it. And, I mean, we did a video where we were literally on Noxes. We flew out of a Cutlass Black.
Yeah, I think you told us about that.
We engaged a double VHRT mission, and we finished the mission without any casualties. That was one take. It was, hey, I have this idea, let's do it. Yeah. And we did it. And I'm not trying to toot our horn or anything and say we're the best. We're not. There are better pilots out there. I will be the first to admit it, that there's better pilots than specifically me. But the point is it can be done. I have videos on my own channel where I've taken down a Vanguard Warden in a Mustang Alpha, or a Super Hornet in an Aurora MR. Like, it can be done. And
there you go. So it's not about whatever ship you've got.
Right.
Yeah, that's been the whole point of the channel, like, since inception, because what really pissed me off is when I started playing, I would see a new player come into the game, and they'd say, oh, I got an Aurora, or I got a Titan, or I got whatever. And whoever it was that was talking in the chat, because you know how it is, the chat's, the game server's full of people, and only 10 people are talking. Oh, you should have got this. Oh, that ship sucks. Now, mind you, I'm talking about when you couldn't get ships in game. You couldn't buy. I think that may have been limited to there were some ships at Levski, Cutlass Black, I think Buccaneer, and a few others. Like, you couldn't get most ships in the game like before. So somebody comes into the game. They're new. They paid cash money on their ship. Maybe that money that they had to get that ship was all they had. And you know what they get? They got scorn and ridicule when they came into the game. That's what they got. At least on the servers that I was on, which is primarily U.S. servers, where most of the bullshit I noticed seems to happen. So I started doing that channel to not so much make people feel better about the purchase, but to show them that there is a lot that you can do in the game.
Yeah.
With that one ship.
To not be discouraged.
Right. To not feel some type of way, because there's a lot you can do in the game with your little ship, even if it is just combat.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm thinking about it now. It's like the negativity of the community was where 11's hangar came from.
Yep.
It's where it came from.
Silver linings.
Like the shittiest bunch of you all, you know, and I'm not saying everybody that's watching now, I'm just, you know who I'm talking about. The shitty ones, the vocal ones that always have some slick shit to say, I'm assuming because they're on the internet and can't get their due consequence for their mouth. But that's how 11 Tanker started. Because of that. And that negativity was more focused on ships, and it's just widespread now, because it just seems like everybody just says anything. And I know that there's probably a lot more men or males that play the game, and I'm sure like anybody watching that knows what's up. That's not how men talk to each other, unless you want your ass kicked. And it's like for me, I don't talk any different online than I do in real life. I'm the same dude. There's just certain stuff that you don't say unless you want a specific response. And I feel like a lot of the people that come into these chats, not just in Star Citizen, in any game, they say the shit that they know they can't get away with saying in real life. That's what it is. All kinds of wild shit. All confrontational stuff and threats and racist stuff. I see it all the time in Star Citizen and in other games.
Yeah, every game I've ever played, I've encountered more racist shit than I have in the real world.
And then people try to say, "Oh, it's a part of PvP. It's part of competitive gameplay." No, it's not. You know, don't like professional players get like fined for stuff like that. You can get like fined, thrown out, ejected. Like no, like it's not. It's you trying to justify being a bitch ass who tries to get your jollies off or try to make yourself feel better about the loser that you are by talking shit online because you know nobody can actually respond to give you the due response to it.
No. There's no respect for opinions. Everybody is entitled to their opinions. You know,
unless it's unless it's a racist one, then yeah, you're not entitled to an opinion.
That's your.
Here's the thing. That's not an opinion.
Don't let me catch you. Don't let me catch you.
That's you being an extremist, right?
Yeah,
that's not an opinion.
Yeah, it's not an opinion.
I mean, regular opinion, right? Because
regular opinions.
I see a lot of.
You can have your regular opinions.
I see a lot of reaction videos, right? Trying to make fun of other people for having certain opinions, or trying to make fun of people for having a positive outlook, right? Or being more rational, or being attempting to be rational or reasonable or logical, right? That should not be the case. That should not be the case. You're entitled to be upset, right? You have the right to be upset. But it doesn't mean that you get to shit on people that are not upset. We're not in the primary schoolyard, right? Just because you feel bad about a certain thing, it doesn't mean everybody has to feel bad about it.
Exactly.
Other people have the right to not feel bad about it, right? Other people have the right to view it or look at it a different way. Like I just said, there are lots of bugs in Star Citizen. Rightfully so.
There's going to be more.
Now, people that don't understand development, right? Tech development. Yeah, they might not understand the reason for the bugs and all the messiness. But people that do understand tech development know that yes, when you're pushing the edge, you will be met with a lot of unforeseen situations, a lot of anomalies, a lot of bugs. Things don't never go as planned. You have to make your plan, execute it, it'll break, and then you reform your plan. You reevaluate and reapproach the problem from a different angle, right? Which is why I said, for me personally, seeing shit go wrong is a good sign. Seeing a particular patch turn into a dumpster fire is a good sign. It means that they're attempting to do something great.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we all do want the game to come out.
Exactly.
And progress. We all do want to play, I think, regardless of how pissed off we may get, or, the shit that we say amongst each other behind closed doors. We do all actually want to see the project succeed. And
I, for one, take pride I for one take pride in being part of this development. I feel very, very honored and prideful to be a part of this development. I feel like I'm a part of history in the making, in a big way, because we're pushing the edge of an entire industry, and we're part of that in whatever small or big way. Exactly.
In a big way.
And I'll tell you,
better get my name in the credit.
I don't regret a single cent I've pushed into this game, and I'm still gonna push more.
Some of us, they need to make it like if 11 dies, they need to make like an NPC that looks just like him and put him somewhere in the verse flying a ship around.
Okay, that's borderline creepy. Man.
No. I'm just talking, in terms of amount of money spent. That's your guy right there.
Yeah, oh my goodness gracious! All right, let's change the subject.
I don't regret a single.
Shepard, this is your cue to start just saying random shit.
Random stuff. I don't know. Yeah, you're putting me on the spot here.
I still
Hey,
remember
scones
the day.
are awesome, aren't they? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, scones.
I still remember the day I started saying something and 11 goes
Some
to
have
me.
YouTube channels. Others,
I don't regret a single cent I've pushed into this game, and I will say that I've pushed.
And he owns an Ares, folks.
I have.
Actually, he melted. Just kidding. I did. I melted mine.
I have spent thousands of dollars on this game, and I don't regret it. And I'm still going to spend more. That is the truth.
Well,
and I take pride in it.
You heard it here first, folks.
Hey, and I take pride in it. Unless, of course, if my lady partner is on the stream, then I'm very sorry.
Yeah, he's not spending a single cent more. Screw that.
Yeah.
We all know this is a big load of BS.
You will
on
win
that one.
every argument. Yeah, you will win every argument from here on out.
Right?
You know how many times
listening to this?
How many times you say this?
You said it
my
was
last ship.
Yes. You said it was free to play. Like, no, that was last week. Like,
my dear, if you're listening to this, then I suppose you've got something on me for the next 3 years. So.
But I don't want, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want a disparity between someone who bought like a starter package and someone who, that's not what is being applied here.
No.
But.
The truth is, I want to be a part of funding this project because
and everybody puts in everybody chips in what they can afford to chip.
Exactly.
And I got friends who are coming into this game, and I say, just buy the starter package. We have all the ships you're gonna need in our org. We'll take you out. You're gonna have a great time. Don't even worry about it.
I've lost count of the number of times I've said that's the same shit to people.
Yeah, back in the day when you couldn't buy ships in game, like it was very like, you're gonna have to wait, you know what I mean? But that's not the case anymore. Get in there, get with friends, you know what I mean? And you can get money really, really, really quickly.
And you can fly somebody else's ship, You can
fly somebody else's ship, within reason. You guys can work together. And it's going to be better in the future. Once you're able to assign roles in organizations, so that you could take each other's ships out and stuff like that.
I've flew a Scorpius long before I bought one. So
yeah.
I really do think this is the best time that people should be kind of forming those alliances and getting used to working on things and doing things together.
Rather than being negative towards one another.
Exactly, because it's like you kind of can now, but it's like it's pretty small. Like it's not even like 5% of what we're supposed to get. So like rolling solo, it's effed up when you get blown up or something happens. But it's like when things get bigger, I have a feeling ships are going to like cost more in game.
Yeah.
I think that the amount of money that you can make is probably going to go down.
They're gonna
comes in. It's like you're not going to be rolling around by yourself doing
making
everything
a ton of money
you are now. You know what I mean? Which is why I think there's been campaigns in regards to working together. There's been campaigns on the website in regards to people helping people out. Or spotlighting different orgs. Different orgs for you to join and things like that. Like
It's gonna get really
worse.
big too. Yeah,
You
it's
know,
gonna get
seriously,
like
if
there are 2,000 plus man organizations that are sitting out there that are waiting for this version to get
exactly,
bigger,
and
big
looking
enough
be
to accommodate them. They will take over entire systems, and you will be forced to deal with them whether you want to or not. That is a reality that even we have to prepare for.
And the truth of the matter is, when you get in game, the Star Citizen community is very helpful. And you know what? If I had to give one advice to any new player, right, or anybody that was considering jumping into Star Citizen, it'd be this: treat it as you would real life. Period.
Yeah, if it's midnight and you're at the ATM, look over your shoulder.
Period. It is that simple. Treat it as you would real life. Nothing more, nothing less. You know? And you'll be fine. You're hauling diamonds, titanium, agresium, whatever. If it's valuable, higher security.
Yeah. Yep. We know where you are. We know where you're at. And letters like from the peaceful ones, from the peaceful ones have put a target on your back. Unfortunately, the PvP community is coming for you. They just are because.
He's right.
He's just
life is no longer peaceful.
He's just stating facts.
I'm just putting it out there for you. I'm not 100% against you. If you want to be a peaceful player, I have no problem with that. I don't want you to nerf the game because you don't know how to
higher security.
Higher security or learn how to run.
No, listen.
Hire
there
those
are
who want
orgs.
life.
Listen, what did I just say? Treat it as you would real life. You want to be peaceful?
I mean, you could take Maestro's approach to it, or you could take my approach to it. It's play how you want.
There are orgs that are primarily mercenary orgs or private security orgs. Hire them. You get on global chat, right? You get in game, get on global chat. Hey, who wants to make some money?
Make them fly their own ships. You know what I mean? Like, be careful who you hire. But fly. Don't fly by yourself. And if you do, don't be mad about what happens. It's just a game. You know what I mean? Like it's just a couple of minutes. Or whatever, couple hours. It's not a big deal.
I remember. Hey, I told you guys about one of my earliest Star Citizen experiences, right? With trading. Levin, you remember the story I told about how I had to do hand mining to get money to start trading? And
you might have told me, but as soon as I hear the word mining, it's
so
a voluntary thing that happens.
Yeah, I'll just tell a Cliff Notes version of it, right? Early days in the game, took a cave mission, hand mining, made enough money to fill up my cutlass, right? That was the time when you could run agresium between DMR and PO, right? And you would get like a 20% profit on one haul. And I did that over and over again until I had enough money to fill up a Connie. I filled up my Connie to the brim.
Oh yeah.
And I had, I remember. After filling up my Connie, right, I had all but 3 UECs to my name. 3 AUECs. And I had to eat, I had to drink, right? And I was seeing dollar signs because a full load of Connie, that was going to be a shit ton of money in profit. Requested for landing at PO, got a landing pad just as I was about to land. Coming in for landing, I could literally smell the grease on the pad, and
someone
F-head,
someone
grabbed my Connie, right? So I've got no ship, right?
And no money.
I've got no ship, no money, no cargo, nothing. Zilch.
It's a great way.
And guess what? I lost the hand mining tool. I lost everything.
Yeah.
I lost everything. I had no armor, no nothing, and with just 3 alpha UEs.
Yep.
Guess what I did?
You did box missions.
Oh,
I did a box mission. Mission to buy a new hand tool. Right? Took another investigation, a cave investigation mission to go mine some gems, right? Some hadnite and dolomite to sell to get enough money to start trading again. In a Titan, in an Avenger Titan first.
I mean, you didn't go to Spectrum?
No, I didn't go to Spectrum. I
Interesting.
laughed it off.
Resort
It was
Citizen fans?
part of the experience, because guess what? I have been there in real life. Minus
a spaceship, though.
Yeah,
exactly.
Minus a spaceship.
Where I made a bad investment and I lost everything and I had to start all over again. Right? But guess what? I didn't lose the main thing that was important, which was in my head, the knowledge that I needed to make it all back again. And there isn't, I don't care what you say, there isn't a single responsible adult in life that hasn't been through this. Losing everything and having to start all over again. We've all been
in
there.
some way, shape, or form. Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
You might have started with nothing. You know what I mean?
There you go. There you go. So the same thing happened to me in Star Citizen, and I started all over again, and I made it all over again. And hey, here we are. It was part of the experience. I remember telling my brother about that experience. You know what he said to me? He said to me, if it was me, I admire you, because if it was me, I wouldn't touch that game again for 6 months. But guess what? I jumped back in.
My first experience with Star Citizen, this is kind of a good segment. Everyone talks about their first experience with Star Citizen. My first experience, this is, me and Shepard are we're from day one. I remember my first experience was like, I had like 6 frames. It was Yellow Crusader. Yellow and Crusader was all that was there. There were 3 missions. Like it wasn't a physical thing, man. It was crazy. And I remember being like, "There's no way this is gonna work." This is like, I was like, if you can't make this run faster with this, it was pretty funny. But so I'm like, all right, gonna get my Aurora, gonna go out there and get my Aurora, and because I had a freelancer, but freelancers weren't in the game yet. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go out there, and I could see it in the hangar view or whatever. That was all I could do. Yeah. But so I'm like, all right, I'll go and get my Aurora. Someone stole my Aurora off the pad at Port Olisar and flew off, and I was just like,
hey, we've all been there.
And that's I miss those days.
That never leave your ship open.
It was just pad ramming. Like
they used to spawn unlocked.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, Swirler, what's going on, dude? Thanks for dropping in.
People were literally EVAing at PO, waiting for people to spawn their ship, and then it will drop and try to steal them. That's what it was.
Yeah,
I remember those days.
So pad ramming became, a Star Citizen faux pas, and then nowadays they're like good RAM. It makes me violently disappointed in the Star Citizen community when I hear, "Oh, good RAM," like you couldn't fight, so you rammed someone. You're scum.
And see, that's another thing that I don't get. Why do people get upset just because they come across scum or bad guys in the verse?
Because apparently they're not.
You come across scum and bad guys in real life. You're in an open universe. Of course, not everybody in the verse is not a bloody saint or a hero.
You put enough space, where the worst parts of people are, can come out and they can make a profit off of it for something very, very quickly. Yeah, that's gonna happen. I heard people trying to be like, that's not piracy. You got to make demands. Why? It's just you're gumming up the works, buddy. Like, we'll just take it off your ship after you're dead.
Watch the world burn, and that's okay.
That too.
We need those because if there aren't people that want to watch the world burn,
And if you don't think that would happen in real space,
bounty hunters will have no job to do in the verse.
Like,
Pretty much.
Like there you go.
Like
you need to have bad guys to have good guys.
Just look at like history and like, you know, it's not a whole bunch of people being like, hey, is this spot friendly? Can we all just take over? All right, cool. We're just gonna take this spot. No, they fought over it.
Exactly. Another thing I don't get. I'm sure I mentioned this. Why in God's name would you go to an illegal drug lab and expect it to be peaceful?
How about that?
Why would you go? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
And if someone's like playing the game the way that like it's intended, why would you call him a piece of shit in the chat? He's just doing what's supposed to be done.
Because it doesn't go along with what they want.
Because it doesn't go along with with their ego that they saw for themselves. That's what happened.
Yeah, I think they were under the assumption that Chris was developing an entire digital universe just for them.
That involved Care Bears.
Yes,
just for them. I mean, he only needed $45 to build it.
I can't help but envision that meme that was posted on Reddit about the Care Bears that jumped down that shit.
Oh man, yeah. Can I share that real quick?
Please do.
Let me see. Where was that at? That was in Wraith Squad chat?
I believe so.
Exactly, Squirrel. Squirrel just said something very interesting. I was greeted and mentored into the game by some of the worst psychopaths in the game. They keep people on their toes and keep the game exciting. Exactly. You can't. I mean, if the whole verse was a bloody peaceful
trading,
utopia.
Trading and mining should feel like you're getting away with something. If you're trading and you're mining, you should feel like you're getting away with something.
If it's profitable, there should be a considerable amount of risk attached to it.
Yeah.
But if you were mining in real life, you wouldn't go out there mining. I mean, go to mines. Go to mines, diamond mines, oil mines, gold mines in real life. You would see private military companies all around here, guarding those places.
That's right.
Everybody's willing to defend wealth.
Thank you. So back to my point. Like I said, if I had to give one advice to anybody playing this game, it'd be this. Treat it as you would real life, because it is real life, just in a digital form. It is real life.
Played by real people.
Exactly. Digitized universe.
Exactly.
No.
Come on, don't expect it to be a bloody utopia.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
Even the foundation of the game, the fundamental law of the entire verse sits on, is predicated on conflict.
Yep.
The Vandal.
I don't care if they take weapons out of this. Yeah, exactly. If they took every gun out of this game, I'm gonna find a way to kill you and take your stuff. Sorry.
Yep. Thank you.
But I'm not sorry.
You've ran into a bunker half naked, haven't you?
Oh yeah. Everybody?
There you go. And he came out
with armor,
and guns,
with armor and weapons and everything.
Yeah.
Glorious. Yep. We've all ran into a bunker half naked before.
Oh yeah.
Vexus, you did that too, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah.
Vexus and I oftentimes go in with just a knife.
Oh yeah,
I remember
we're like Jet Li and Jackie Chan, me and Op, when we go into those things. We get old school with it.
In fact, I remember one time when I went down in the bunker, you and I think it was you, Vexus. We both went down, you regenerated, and you came back half naked, got armor, got weapons, got a med kit, and revived.
Yep. Can you imagine wearing somebody else's armor and be like, ugh, this dude
Full
smell like onions. Ugh.
So, what I've heard is that Vexus and Up was practicing hand-to-hand together. Is that?
Oh my!
Oh, we did that too. Yeah,
that's all right. Don't be. Don't be jealous. Come on. We'll invite you next time.
Multiple knife fights, multiple fist fights.
Yeah, and that time that I stomped Vet Op into the mesh, I felt really bad about it. But he started that fight.
But it was funny.
Yeah,
Actually, no. I did not start that fight. I believe that was you and Bishop. And
I wasn't there,
but
I believe Op wouldn't start a fight.
That doesn't sound like something I would do.
Yeah, that's false.
I don't think that was me. But
I've been through an interesting metamorphosis. I remember at the start of this, I used to be very cross at Vexus for being trigger happy. That is no longer the case.
I told you I'd get him.
Oh, come on. If you ever repeat this out loud, Vex, I will deny it and I'll come for you.
Well, there is video evidence, and we are being recorded.
How the tables are turned.
I'm going to go see a doctor. I'm growing on you.
I will come for you. And I will tell you,
I'm not going to tell anybody else.
I come for you, I will get you. See, here's the thing. I used to be that person that would say, you know what, just let him go in peace. Right?
Oh yeah, no, he wouldn't. He did. He threatened to absolutely. He threatened to space
Texas. Yeah,
that's what he said.
For thinking about shooting someone. But now I would hurl a size 9 at a person for free.
Yep.
And watch you wrestle and dance with that tube, that large, glorious, shiny tube. You can think of that however you will.
I'm reading the comments. So Squirrel Lord said, I hate Care Bears more than the worst pirates.
Oh my god.
I don't necessarily know if it's a hate thing, but I will say that the increasing amount of Care Bears that play the game have caused Wraith Squad to grow in different ways that we hadn't recently anticipated.
I think that Verse needs to become very, very hostile in order to resensitize folks towards what the Verse is actually supposed to be. Which is why I'm actually and actively looking forward to the emergence of Pyro, because Pyro will remind people of what this game was supposed to be.
We were originally going to be bounty hunters. We were going to be good guys.
We still
did this.
At one time.
When we hunt bounties, they're in super ships or they log.
Yeah, we're still bounty hunters. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we are,
Or they call us griefers.
Hey, we're House Uriel.
Yeah,
I know what
they
you're talking.
do call us griefers.
Remember
that time we tried the Ninetail side of the lockdown mission, and we got reported?
Yeah, they reported us.
Yeah.
What you do is not normal. I report you, was what he said to us. And it was like, we're just doing the mission. Like, we purposely got bounties just to do that portion of the mission.
CIG expressly stated players would be allowed to choose whatever side they want to be on. It is perfectly part of the game design to want to be a bad guy.
Which is probably why nothing actually happened. But...
It blows my freaking mind. It's like, no, they're just and like if you ruin, like if they ruin this game and they take out all the guns and it just becomes happy fun time land, I am still gonna find a way to get you.
I will.
You can nerf every ship in the game. I will turn every ship into just a bullet and hit you with it.
Yep.
Whatever I gotta do.
Hospital gown and all.
Mm-hmm.
There's a saying, right? If you want peace, then you must prepare for war, right? And there's also this other saying that my sensei used to be very fond of. Better to be a warrior in a garden than to be a gardener on the battlefield.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
Really like
there you go.
My sensei used to say cowabunga a lot.
His sensei was
Why
actually
you practice
Mike
your
Landon.
Ninja Turtle maneuvers in front of the TV on Saturdays? Is that was that alluding to?
Yeah, well,
No, it's very real, and we would do karate, and then we would go eat pizza, and then we'd hang out in the sewer.
Mm-hmm.
You were a regular karate kid.
I thought that.
Yep. My best friend was a rat.
I was like, man, these guys do the Ninja Turtles? No, not all of us, just Vexus.
There you go. Some of us
his name in real life is actually Raphael.
Exactly.
Everybody's has. Oh God.
Maestro's Leonardo.
Oh no. That is a name specifically reserved for the boss.
Bishop is Donatello for sure.
I am not Leonardo. I'm 11.
11 is Splinter.
11 is Raphael.
Oh,
I'm
goodness.
Michelangelo. 100%.
He said I'm a Splinter.
I have.
Leo's been forced on me.
I definitely have.
Well,
I have the
to be fair, I do have a particular soft spot for katanas, so
You're a shredder.
Hey.
What, you want to be Krang?
Krang?
No, actually, I think Hop could be onto something.
Oh man.
11
I
cannot be Leo.
almost didn't make it.
11
that was a lot
cannot
funnier than I
be.
thought it was
He's
going to be.
Master
Once the
Splinter.
laughing started, man, that was funny as shit.
11 is Master Splinter.
That's what I
And
thought.
he's got the senior moments to go with it.
Oh man. See, now we're just getting mean.
Oh. Showing your true
man.
colors here.
He is Krang.
Miz is
Shep.
asking,
What about
Shep?
Messiah wants to know.
Shep, I think Shep is more Michelangelo.
Shep?
No.
No, actually,
Yeah,
Shep's
maybe.
like,
Do you know? I remember one of
Shep
my
is Shredder.
first thoughts of Shepard was he sounds like Michelangelo.
like, I'm trying to think of like who's the or he's who's the freaking hockey guy? Casey Jones.
Casey Jones.
Oh
Jones.
my lord.
He's actually
Vexus,
pretty cool.
That's you.
That's
Oh my lord.
No. I'm
Vexus, even personality-wise, you're Casey Jones.
fine.
Needlessly aggressive.
What would I be?
It's settled.
I'm serious. What would I be?
You're Donatello.
Donatello.
You're Leonardo. Bishop's Donatello.
Yeah,
No, Bishop
I
is
can see that.
Yeah?
I can see that.
That'll work.
Oh,
like
man.
So I was looking at
You know,
I was looking at the chat,
that-
and Spoiler
Yeah.
said that Elite Dangerous today is a reminder of why you should not let Care Bears take over a game community.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
definitely.
I have been
Dangerous
saying
is a
that to
hollow
anyone who
shell of
listens.
what it used to be, and
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the
definitely.
thing. It's like Star Citizen isn't even out yet, so that was kind of motivation behind us, just kind of speaking our piece tonight, because as much as I would like to see the channel grow, I don't want to see the channel grow with people under false
that direction.
expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be like, oh, I thought 11 was such and such and such and such. It's like I remember when I put my little character on there, and lost how many subscribers did I lose? 68 subscribers, like within the first time that I put my little character up there. So it's like I'd rather me and dip or stay like earlier on, because I'm not going to stop making content. We're going to be here. Like, we're not going to stop playing the game. So
We're here to stay.
I figure, maybe if you had a little more insight into who we are, then it makes the decision a little easier moving forward.
Exactly. We're in the quiet taste.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Vexus mostly.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, I guess it seems like we have exhausted all that we had to talk about with our topic, so I wasn't necessarily particularly planning on playing Star Citizen today, but I did want to kind of do that. I'm probably going to play some Red Dead. Unless anybody else had anything that they wanted to talk about while we're on stream.
Not particularly.
No.
Just a tips tips and tricks if ever you're joining the game. Try to find an org. Playing alone can be fun, but it has its risk.
Yeah, it mostly sucks.
It's
So
mostly risk.
Just find an org. That's how I started with Star Citizen. I started to play alone, and then I got bored, wanted to find an org. Now, granted, first org I joined kind of fell apart. That's a story for another day. 11 knows about it.
Yeah.
But
I don't, but you'll fill me in.
oh yeah. But the thing is that just find an org, because that's how you make friends in the game, and that's how you you start to be part of a community. And then if you want to do things within the game, then you'll always kind of be safe because you'll be part of a community. And that's what it is. Playing alone has its perk, but also you're alone. So if anything happened, you're stuck. For example, if for some reason you land your ship, you go to the trade terminal, and you die in your ship, and you spawn back to a location where it's so far away from your ship and you don't have nobody to help you out, then you might not be able to get back into it. If your ship for some reason is like not even landed completely on the floor, it's like kind of like EVA in the air.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Many things can happen wrong in the game when you play alone. Try to find yourself a squad or an org. There's plenty of orgs out there. Doesn't necessarily need to be, Wraith Squad or anything, but there's plenty of squad out there. Just that's what Star Citizen is going to be when it's going to be released as well. There's going to be a place for solo.
To add on to your point, a lot of those ships aren't going to operate with just one person.
Exactly.
They're not.
And you won't be able
to. There's a limit to what you can do alone.
Exactly, too. You won't be able to QT really far on a small ship that is not multi-crew.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be by design by CIG, because they want to encourage people to play with other players. The multiplayer, the multi-crew.
If you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together.
Exactly.
Yep.
So that would be my best trick. Just try to find out, even if you're anti-social. Like, if you're anti-social, you find a place you don't need to talk much, and then eventually you'll get comfortable, and then so on and so forth. There's a lot of people that are welcoming in this game. Yeah, I know we said the community is.
There are a lot of assholes, but there are a lot of good people too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I said,
all
the
a little
community is
weird.
very
It's
helpful.
fine.
The Star Citizen community can be very, very helpful and very generous. That's
if you can imagine, there was a time when even old Vex was, a shy person.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Ain't that something?
All right. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out. I hope for those of you that watch this, the replay, enjoy it. I think we covered some pretty cool stuff. We talked about a lot of different things. I am certain that you got to know us a little better from listening to this, or if you listen to it later, you will.
Oh shit!
Wow. We're going to get to working on some new videos that'll be coming out soon. You'll see another VR combat tactics video. You'll see a video update on the cheating in Star Citizen, which I'm really looking forward to. And thank you all for hanging out. Always appreciate the support and you guys watching and liking and subscribing and sharing. And we so take care.
Hey guys.
And don't forget to stay frosty. That shit's important.
Okay,
very important.
Heal me.
See, Maestro wasn't staying frosty.